Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. So today we're going to talk about something a little bit different, the effects of a generational curse. Now, those of you who know me know that I take Ubers home from work, and it's about a 22-minute long ride. Well, this particular morning, I had a woman who decided that she wanted to go to the gas station before picking me up, and it was quite a wait. Now, here's the thing. I wasn't in a rush. I'm still getting paid, so I waited on her to come, but I did look at her profile and realized that she had only been Ubering for a couple months. So rather than give her a 1 rating or whatever, if you had been doing it for years and did this, we're going to talk and figure out why you did this. But if you just got a sandwich, you're getting a 1 from me. And so I decided to just have a conversation with her as opposed to giving her a negative rating because she didn't have really enough to, overcome that. Long story short, when she gets in the car, she's overcompensating with niceties because she knows she kind of messed up. And she's telling me about her entire life, you guys. She's 34 years old. She's got 3 kids, been married 3 different times. They all got different daddies, 2 boys and a girl. The boy is rambunctious and all over the place, and she had just caught the girl, in a room with the boy. Now, this is what triggered things. After explaining to me that she had been married to each one of their fathers and then divorced, and every time she had moved to a different state, and that's why she was in Florida. She had just divorced the youngest boy's abusive father, and now she was in Florida. She had just caught her 16-year-old daughter in the room with a boy, and the door was closed. And she said, "My daughter does not know consequence." And by the time I had listened to this story of dysfunction, it just blurted out of my mouth. There are sometimes I can be brutally honest with these people, and this was the time. I said, how do you expect her to know consequence, which means what comes with sequence to these actions when you don't know consequence? It seems as though at the tender age of 16 years old, she has figured out that the only time that she can have stability and stay put in life is when some man has put a child inside of her stomach, which is the reason why she's out there trying to do that right now. Except she's not trying to do it with the man, just like you were. She did it with a boy, and it ain't going to work out like that. Florida's a different ball game than Texas, which is where she initially got started doing this. These kids in Florida, they don't be sticking right there. Hey, my baby, the whole 9 yards, whatever. The internet, especially nowadays, that's not my kid is their thing, and they're out the door. She's not going to have the same type of situation that she had in the early 2000s. With that being said, we talked a little bit more, and I told her how to help herself, how to help her child was to help herself. You see, you guys, what we don't realize is that we're creating generational curses for our children. It is biblical. God himself said that when you marry to Jesus Christ, you've got to leave the ways of your parents behind. And it's not that they didn't train you the right way, but their way of going about life may not be the best way you need to go about life. And so many of us don't recognize that. We tend to just by human nature reject what we don't know and stick to what we do, which is the reason why I told that mother, you don't know what comes with sequence. She's only repeating your pattern. She thinks that stability comes with pregnancy. She's tired of moving all over the place. The best thing that you can do as a mom is to not only discipline her, but discipline yourself. You got to go get some help. You got to be able to break your own patterns, figure out why you keep on giving yourself over to these types of men and these relationships that aren't working. And a lot of times, you guys, you will recognize that your kids are kind of going off the rails. I have a situation in my own life where I can tell, my goodness, we only see love as money, and that's going to lead to 2 different dynamics. You're either going to get into a relationship with somebody where you give them money and then they give you love, but the second you don't give them money, they start to step away. That's going to lead to abuse. And then you're going to end up, or if not that one, then you're going to end up in a pattern where somebody does give you money. And then by them giving you money, you suddenly are now controlled by them. That's definitely going to end up in some type of abuse. And the reason why I know this is because this particular dynamic rejects all real aspects of love. They don't want to be around you. They don't want to have fun. They're constantly worried about what the outside is going to say to them. And so anybody who comes in loving is not going to be able to really enjoy freedom and time around them because they're constantly pushing that off. They're rejecting real love in order to get this love that's linked to money. And all that's going to do is end up in problems. I can see this from the outside looking in. I could see my own generational curses. I grew up with a mother who just could not find an available man. He was always got to be wrapped up in all these different women having somebody take care of him, or he's got to be flat out married. Hello, look at what I ended up doing for years. Couldn't go out there and get with a guy that was single and open and available to me. I rejected that to no end unknowingly because I didn't know what that was and stuck to the pattern that she normalized for me. So yes, you guys, generational curses, especially when it comes to this, how we relate to people, even worse, how we mate, is a very real thing. So what's the solution here, moms and dads? Get some help. Seriously, get some help. Do some self-discovery. The best thing that you can do for your child is say, listen, I know the consequences of this. I get it. It is my bad that I didn't discipline you, but I wasn't disciplining myself. I wasn't making rules, regulations, and restrictions for myself so that I didn't continue these patterns, but I'm getting the help now. Like I said, it took me 7 years to break my generational curse. But it was through discipline, therapy, understanding Jesus that helped me to do it. And I suggest the exact same formula to anybody out there that's watching it. First things first, you've got to take accountability. This isn't working. And when you can finally say, hey, listen, daughter, hey, listen, son, I know you're going down this same path. I can tell you I did A, B, C, X, Y, Z, and the consequence is what comes with sequence is the life that I'm currently living right now. And I don't want that for myself, let alone you. So that was wrong of me. I realize that now, and I'm going to go take steps to do better. While I'm doing that, I'm going to try to show you how to do better as well. But this pattern I see you recreating isn't going to work. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for my mother or father. I don't want it to end up making you suffer as well. So yeah, I told her she's going to have to work on herself and be accountable and acknowledging and just really tell her daughter it's not going to work. It just isn't. And I want to be able to show you different so that you can finally accept something different than recreating this pattern that has generational havoc on us. Have a blessed day, you guys.